I feel again like that's that atypical. How do you define a typical day? How could I say what I do? I peeked at my annual nursing schedule that I just kind of update every few years, and at this point know by heart, what I need to do and when. And it's like 4 pages long, and then there's a section on what I do every day, every week, and then what are my deadlines and goals and tasks each month. And I think there's no way to define that unless I do a separate interview and look at those 3 or 4 pages. But that's what I would want to share. When I have a student nurse here, I have one from UW-Madison right now, and I take them from Clark as well, and sometimes Southwest Tech. They come in, and after the first week, even on a slow week, I had no idea. I really had no idea. And I think you would have to come in and be my health para, or you would have to come in as a board member or a school nurse, and you need to be there all day to see. And not just one day, but that week or the next week. Because I had several school classroom presentations on dental health and on blood pressure for 5th graders. Next month, shaken baby. So what about that teaching component? What about all the paperwork? The immunization review and all of those pieces that you do every year, and then what about the kids that are injured or ill, or the staff, or health plans and all of that. So there's just no really way to, I don't think, to bring that all together in a quick answer. Mm-hmm. I would say you would have to shadow me for a day, and if you came in at the slowest day, you would still be overwhelmed at what tasks then I dig into if there aren't students or staff at my door or the phone's not ringing.
I think that we do so much more than just put on Band-Aids and take temperatures, that, the nurses are really well educated and have to make a lot of critical thinking decisions every day, and that we're part of the mental health team at the school, that we do a lot of building relationships with kids so that when they have a crisis need, they know they can come to us. Getting the word out that the nurse is someone you can talk to if you need help. Kids who have been willing to come and talk about their eating disorders, that I wish there was more of that people knew that it was a safe place, that people understood that it isn't just the Band-Aid station, which I think is still how a lot of people think of school health in general. That, these are well-educated, well-trained people who are doing everything they can to keep your kid functional in school.
This one is a hard one. Yes, so school nursing is like being a mom. You walk in the house, and the house is clean, food is cooked, kids are managed. It looks really good. Moms make it look really easy. And school nurses, we make this look really easy. And that's because we love what we do. We're good at it. And if I could show people what we do, it is starting with nothing and creating health out of it. So yes, we have resources. I can't say nothing. But when we have a dental clinic, it doesn't just appear. We have called the doctor. We have set up the clinic. We have passed out permission slips. We have talked to parents. There's a process to everything. And if people would just know that school nursing is so important, and everything that we do, there are 10 steps to it before you see the final piece. And people don't see all the work that it took to get there. And that's what I would like people to just know. You don't need to see it. We're good at what we do. We don't need to show it. But for you to know that it exists and there's a step to everything, I created a process, because even with things like health plans, people think that, you just write them. No, you don't. You have to interview the child, interview the parent, get the medical, figure out the medical and what this child needs, and then there's a plan. So there are multiple steps to every single thing we do, and people just don't know that.
I wish they could see that, it is so much more than ice packs and Band-Aids, which is, what everybody, well, they do work magic sometimes, but there's a lot more to it. And if people could see, like if they really understood some of the complex healthcare needs that we handle in a school where we are the only medically trained in any way person, I would love for them to be able to see that we're trying to make this so every kid can come to school, and whether they need medicine or tube feeding or oxygen or suction or whatever it might be that we're helping with, that there's a lot more to it.
You know what, I think the trust speaks for itself. Yes, sometimes it's invisible work. Are we in the front of a classroom? Not typically. Are we going to be mentioned or have our work be seen? Probably not, because if we do things well, you just have healthy students who are being taken care of, and that's not necessarily noticeable. But I take a lot of pride in those relationships that are built and being, I think, probably still the number one trusted profession in America for years and years running. And so that trust runs deep, and I think that that's world changing, even if it's not seen.